Usually, we present our Distinguished Service Award on Tuesday morning. But this morning, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present it this morning. Our North Carolina Farm Bureau Distinguished Service Award is the highest honor that this organization gives each year to an individual who unselfishly serves North Carolina and our state's farmers. Our 2018 recipient exemplifies to me the definition of someone who has dedicated themselves to working for North Carolina agriculture and making the lives of our farm families better. Ladies and gentlemen, our 2018 Distinguished Service Award recipient is a friend of mine, Dr. Richard C. Reich. Richard Reich is a native of Forsyth County, where he grew up, and he still lives on his family farm. Dr. Reich holds a BS degree in agronomy and a master's degree and a doctor's degree in soil science, and might guess he's Wolfpack through and through, all came from NC State University. Richard Reich has been a longtime servant to North Carolina and to our agriculture. He has led a long and distinguished career within various sectors of the agriculture community. He worked for almost 18 years as a program manager and a research assistant for R.J. Reynolds Tobacco Company. And we all will benefit, if you're a tobacco farmer, of some of that research work. After almost 5 years, he worked with the North Carolina Cooperative Extension Service. Dr. Reich became the director of the North Carolina Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services Agronomic, or soil testing, you call it, Agronomic Services Division in March of 1999. In 2005, Commissioner Troxler appointed Richard to become the Assistant Commissioner for Agricultural Services within the department. And Dr. Reich just retired last year from that post. Richard Reich has been published numerous times. He is well recognized as an expert in crop and soil science. He has received multiple honorable distinctions from our College of Agriculture and Life Sciences, the North Carolina Soybean Producers Association, the Soil Science Society of North Carolina, and Gamma Sigma Delta. In addition, Richard Reich and I were at NC State together, and my name and his name were pledges. We were both on the same pledge paddle in about 1969, 70, somewhere along in there, Richard. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Reich's contribution to North Carolina agriculture throughout his career cannot be questioned. Dr. Reich, on behalf of Farm Bureau members in this audience and all across the state, I am honored to present our highest award to someone, to you, who is truly deserving of this special recognition. Dr. Richard Reich, please come forward. This plaque reads the Distinguished Service to Agriculture Award presented to Dr. Richard C. Reich in recognition of distinguished and unselfish service to North Carolina agriculture, and it's signed by me as president of the North Carolina Farm Bureau. Richard Reich.
Wow. I am certainly very humbled by this occasion and very grateful to the North Carolina Farm Bureau for this honor. I'm just humbled, Larry. Thank you. First, I'd like to praise God for a life so full of blessings and so many friends. You know, I've known a lot of y'all for a long time, and I've been a part of this family, the agriculture family. As I look out, I know 30 or 40 years for many of you, some of you longer than that. So I really appreciate this. But I really want to start by thanking my wife, Marcia. Stand up, dear. Since we're recognizing wives. This lady put up with me traveling all over the place, all over the world there for a while, traveling across this state for 40 years, more than 40 years, traveling to Raleigh every Monday morning for 19 years. And I just couldn't have done it without her. She's done everything you could ever ask your dear spouse to do. Lord knows I love you, dear. Thank you. I'm also happy that my mom could be here, Betty Reich. Mama, can you stand? She just turned 88 a few weeks ago. I'm so glad she could be here. And certainly I thank the rest of my family for their ongoing sacrifice and patience and support throughout my life. You know, growing up on a small farm in the Piedmont, I learned so many valuable life lessons. And I also learned to love agriculture. And I was usually at my father's side. He died after my freshman year at NC State, and I was 19 years old. So I grew up fast, as they say. But I can tell you, he inspired me in many ways to love the land and to serve other people. I also want to thank my employers, Cooperative Extension, R.J. Reynolds, Commissioner Troxler, and the Department of Agriculture. I was always a part of a team. And so my employers, my coworkers, my colleagues, and partners over the years, that's what makes things go. That's why our system works so well in North Carolina. And I've been a lot of places, and North Carolina has partnerships and has ways of getting things done because we have these relationships that are so strong. But North Carolina Farm Bureau was involved in almost an active partner in almost all of these activities that I've worked with throughout my career, because we all worked to help farmers, farm families, and North Carolina agriculture. This is unique, but Marcia and I have 2 grandchildren. How many of y'all have grandchildren? Isn't that the best part of life? Well, yeah. Well, Henry, the oldest one, just turned 6 Saturday. We had his birthday party, and his little brother's 2.5. But about a year ago, it was before I retired earlier this year, one day one of Henry's friends said, "Where's Papa today?" They call me Papa. And Henry said, "Well, he's at work in Raleigh," because that's what he always knew I was going to be doing. And his little friend said, "What does Papa do?" And Henry kind of paused for a minute, and he said, "Nobody knows." Well, hopefully some of y'all know what I do and what I was doing, what I have been doing. And I can tell you I'm enjoying those boys. And they're building a house on the farm there, too. That's another thing. We're so blessed, because the house my grandfather built almost 100 years ago is there. One of my sisters lives in it. Mama still lives in the house Daddy built. Marcia and I still live in the house we built, and we now have a house going up. They took a little corner out of my hayfield, but we'll adjust to that. So thanks again, Larry. Thanks to your board of directors for this recognition. And thank you for your leadership and all that Farm Bureau does to support agriculture and to make North Carolina a better place to raise our families. Thank you. Love you.